We bought these peco streamlined transition track pieces before we actually knew what we needed for the turntable, and it transfers from 00 to HO, which is what the track is on the turntable. What we need to do is we need to take away 3 of these sleepers so that it'll sit flush on the top edge of the turntable outer ring. When you do that, it makes the HO track very, very flimsy because there's only one sleeper and it's only attached with a thin piece of wire to connect the power. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bit of solder in the joint, which will make it a solid piece, which will solve the problem, so it should be okay then on the turntable to use. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I need to do next is I need to clean the track, the rail at the joint on both outer edges, reasonable amount, and then a very small spot of cleaning on the inside of the track at the joint. The reason for that is because I need the flux to enable the solder to go through the joint and make it as solid as we possibly can, but we don't want a massive amount of solder on the inside of the track because that's where the wheels run, obviously. So the idea is to just draw it through, the solder through with the flux. So here we go. It might be a bit loud, so I apologise. Get a bit of flux on it now. A little bit too much. Don't want too much, otherwise the flux has a tendency to go everywhere, and then when the heat's put on it with the solder, so does the solder go everywhere, and we don't really want that. So just enough. And soldering iron, clean the tip. Tin it. I've found a product there which I've never used before, and I think it's really good. It's lazy, it's great, and it tins your soldering iron really nicely. It's typical, isn't it? That one didn't pull through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit more flux on that inside track. I'm not going to put the soldering iron on the inside though. I'm going to leave the soldering iron on the outside. And as you see, it's drawn the solder through to the inside of the track, but it isn't anywhere near the running edge. If it had pulled too much through, I would just give it a quick file just to make sure. Well, that means that now the solder has gone all the way through the track, the two pieces, so it's pretty solid. All I need to do then is cut off the three pieces of sleeper, which you just do like that. I haven't gone through it there. I think I'll use a knife because it's a little bit aggressive, that cutter. I'll do it with a knife instead, because it's less aggressive. It doesn't bend and twist the plastic. There we go. Two pretty solid pieces of track to sit on the edge of the turntable. So I need to do that now with the other 8 pieces, and we'll be ready to go. The fish plates go on the back of there onto the end of the track that we've got to the turntable. Hopefully that's going to work. We will certainly find out when we put it all down. This is this tip tinner that I got, Delta tip tinner. I saw it on a website when I was looking for bits and pieces for my soldering. I thought, oh, that looks like it might be good. I'll give that a try, and it is. It's brilliant, because when you pick your soldering iron up and it's all grotty because it's been sat in the holder for 10-15 minutes with the power on, just clean off the rubbish on your sponge or whatever you've got, which leaves it fairly clean, but just a little bit of that tinning, it's dead easy. It's really good. And then that takes the solder. It's absolutely fine. It's really, really good. Like I say, it's lazy really, but there you go. Right, there we go. All 8 of them done. Look pretty solid. Quite pleased with that. Cut the sleepers off later. But yeah, that's about it. That's all for this time. But I'll be back.